Interesting. Yeah.
Hello, new table partner.
It's recording. Okay. I want you to look up at the board. That board, sideboard, sorry.
Whoops.
Behind Henry's head, on Friday, it says we're gonna review because our chapter 1 test is on Thursday. Now, I know that next Thursday seems far away, but if we didn't have a 4-day weekend, it would be like a Tuesday, right? So we are gonna talk about 1.4 today. You're gonna have a graded assignment tomorrow. We're gonna talk about 1.5 on Wednesday and Thursday. We are going to start reviewing Friday. We have a 4-day weekend. And then Wednesday we'll continue to review for our Thursday chapter 1 test.
It's so this Friday is the 4-day weekend.
Yes, because it's Labor Day. You just
But we
told
don't
me.
have
Friday.
We don't have Friday.
You have school on Friday, but we have Monday, Tuesday off. And we as in you.
What day? September 9th? Is that next weekend?
Yes. So like that's a week from, that's 2 weeks from yesterday.
All right, I'm gonna come back with some new shoes.
I can't wait. All right, so we are gonna talk about absolute value equations. Guess what? An absolute value equation is an equation with, what do you think's in the equation? Wow. An equation involving an absolute value. Okay. Now, we have this weird word right here. Extraneous solutions. Has anyone ever heard of the word extraneous solutions?
Is it extra solutions?
I kind of like that. It's kind of like extra solutions.
That's absolute value.
No, I mean like where the answers.
Okay, so I like Kari's extra. Can't even see that. So sometimes we solve an algebra equation and the algebra makes sense, but when we put it back into our equation, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so extraneous solutions are answers that we get, so solutions that we get algebraically. But they don't actually work. So if it is possible for us to get extraneous solutions, then we better be in the habit of checking our answers to make sure that when we plug them back into our equation, they actually make sense. Okay, now let's talk about a couple things. We know that the absolute value is always going to produce a non-negative value. Okay, we can have 0 inside of our absolute value. That's perfectly fine. Okay, but the absolute value of A is always going to be a non-negative number. Okay, because this absolute value, remember, turns everything positive. Remember my shirt from a week and a half ago? I wore a purple shirt and it said stay positive. And it had an absolute value on it.
I don't remember that. No. I don't pay attention to people's outfits unless it's my own. Or
Okay.
unless it's wow. Like
The absolute value of negative A and the absolute value of A are going to have the same value.
What? Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. We learned this last year. No kidding.
we did?
Yeah. Yeah, if they have the bars on them, it
Well-
just gets rid of the negative.
I learned that like 4 years ago.
What?
Now, we're gonna be doing algebra, so just give it a moment. Okay, now, the absolute value of AB is the same thing as the absolute value of A times the absolute value of B. Okay, and same thing with our division, okay? I don't think we're gonna have to worry a whole lot about that, okay? But just so you know, the absolute value of AB is the same thing as the absolute value of A times the absolute value of B.
But it does.
Just, these are some properties that we have, okay?
Just go pencil.
All right, so what's true about the absolute value of -5? Okay, and what's true about the absolute value of 5? Okay, so let's just say if I have the absolute value of x equals 5. I have the absolute value of x equals 5. What could x be? Henry?
5 or -5.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna have two possible answers here. Okay, and guys, this is gonna happen every time. Okay, we have two different options for what the inside of our absolute value can be to produce a +5 answer. Okay, or if I had the absolute value of x equals 17, x could be 17 or -17. Okay, two different numbers inside the absolute value sign can give me the same answer. Okay, so go ahead and turn the page to page 20. Okay. If we are solving the absolute value of something equals C, then what we are going to do, we are going to say, okay, whatever is in the absolute value could equal C, or whatever is in the absolute value could equal -C, because C and -C are going to have the same absolute value.
This is kind of confusing.
Okay, well, I think paying attention would help.
I'm still kind of confused.
Okay, so basically what's going to happen, you are going to take, so if I have like the absolute value of something equals C, okay, you're going to take what's in here and you're going to set it equal to C, and you're going to take it and set it equal to -C. Okay, because whatever's in the absolute value, there's two different numbers it could be to get a C, right? Kind of like with the 5 and -5. All right, I'm gonna hand you a pink piece of paper, and it's going to be able to fold kind of like a book. Okay,
Can't open that paper.
keep your finger up. Don't fold it. Are you ready?
How's writing going? I'm getting this.
How's the dog go?
I need to talk to other people.
All right, so go ahead and take this. Did I give you one?
Yeah.
So take it and I want you to fold it so it looks like a book where this is the cover.
Wait, which side is it?
And then the back is blank. Like that, yes. Fold it so it looks like this. Oh.
Chapter one. I'm gonna read chapter one, boys. X minus 1 equals 3.
Okay, we're gonna start off really light. Okay. The absolute value of X equals 3. If this is our equation, then we need to split it into 2 equations. One where what's inside of the absolute value equals 3. And another one where what's inside of the absolute value equals -3. Are you okay with that? Now, this is nice because we don't actually have any algebra that we have to do.
Hooray.
Okay. Somebody sad about that? Okay, but we do need to check. Okay, is the absolute value of 3 equal to 3?
Yeah.
Is the absolute value of -3 equal to 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so these for sure are our answers. Okay, so on a number line, timeline, this is a number line.
Sorry.
Number line. My teacher made me learn number lines because otherwise I would not been at algebra.
Okay, my dearest Ellery, I really don't want to like jack my shin into your chair. Thank you. I've done that before. All right. Harry, what are the 2 things I'm going to write for the absolute value of X equals 2?
X equals 2 and X equals -2.
Do you agree with Harry?
Yes.
If we plug these back in, is the absolute value of 2 equal to 2? Is the absolute value of -2 equal to 2? Awesome. Okay, do that third one without me. All right, Ian, what do we play here? -7? Okay, so X equals -7 and X equals +7. Do you agree with Ian? Okay. Now, if I gave you an entire quiz or homework assignment or whatever full of those problems, you'd be fine, right? But guess what? That's not what we're gonna do. Okay, go ahead and open up the book.
What chapter are we on? Which page, what chapter? Chapter 14.
All right, so chapter 1. All right, now we have a little bit more we need to do. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're going to take whatever is inside the absolute value and it's going to get set equal to a +2 and a -2. Well, inside the absolute value, we have X minus 1. You have questions?
So we would only change like two, not
Correct. Whatever is in the absolute value gets to stay. All right, we just take the absolute value off and say, well, it could equal the positive or the negative. Okay, so this guy is what are you confused about? Okay, so let me go ahead and go backwards here.
Oh, we're erasing all this?
No, you're not. I am. This is for Connor and somebody else other than Connor who's just being quiet. All right, we take whatever is in the absolute value and we remove the absolute value and we set it equal to this number and we set a second equation equal to the opposite of it. Okay, inside the absolute value we have x minus 1. Okay, so now what is this? X equals 3 and x equals,
Yes, times 3.
how about -1?
Oh, yeah.
We actually have to like add 1 to both sides and like follow our rules of algebra.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah.
Ow. I thought you said we didn't. But it doesn't equal 2.
Wait, but
Yes, it does.
Now, but it does up here. Okay, so now let's go back up here and let's check. Is the absolute value of 3 minus 1 equal to 2? Because this is 2 right here, right? The absolute value of 2, okay? What about is the absolute value of -1 minus 1 equal to 2?
yeah,
17,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It said 17.
It is, because this would be negative,
Yeah.
this would be -2, and the absolute value of -2 is 2.
I didn't. No, I give up.
Okay, where did I lose you, Karin?
I don't know.
Are you okay with 3 and -1? Okay, so all I did is I said,
Oh.
okay, here's X.
No, I get it. Never mind.
And so we're plugging back into X to make sure this works.
Is the top thing in the actual value say 8 or 3?
That's a 3.
Alright. I wish I had been ready with that.
Okay,
Oh,
I hear some confusing comments. Number 1, it would help a lot if everybody could just like zip it while I'm trying to explain things. Number 2, if you have a question, please do not be afraid to ask. Okay. This second example is very, very similar to the first one on this page. So let's talk through this second one together. Okay. We have an absolute value that equals 10. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take what's inside the absolute value and we're going to set it equal to 10 and -10. So our two equations that we need to solve are x plus 3 equals 10 and x plus 3 equals a -10. What? Yes. Okay, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm so excited. Are you okay with what I just set up? Okay. X plus 3 is inside the absolute value. So I kept it. I set it equal to a +10 and a -10. So now I can subtract 3 to both sides to get x equals 7. And over here, I can subtract 3 to both sides to get x equals -13. Now, it's really important that we always check our answers. Okay. The absolute value of 7 plus 3 Does that equal 10?
Yeah.
The absolute value of negative 13 plus 3, does that equal 10? Okay.
Oh, never mind.
You have to do that.
I asked for it, yes.
Yeah, square on the problems and all that.
I don't remember. Okay. I'm waiting. Oh, that worked. Okay. So here we go. In this third example, are we ready to split it into two equations? Noah, why did you say no? Noah doesn't know, but he knows the answer is no. Noah. Henry.
We need a balance of work because we need just absolute value of just
Okay. You're right. We need the absolute value to be by itself. So I really like how Henry said we need to balance it out. Okay. In order to balance it out to get the absolute value by itself, what are we going to have to do? We would have to add 1. So what we have is the absolute value of x minus 12 equals 15. So now we can write x minus 12 equals 15 and x minus 12 equals negative 15. If you're working ahead because you think you know what you're doing, I would really caution you to not. Okay, are you okay? Are you okay with the equation that we've given? Okay, so we are going to add 12 to get us x equals 27. We'll add 12 to get us x equals negative 3. Okay. Now, let's check. If we take the absolute value of 27 minus 12, and then we subtract 1, do we get 14?
No.
You already,
Oh, wait.
Wait, yes.
Why does it say 15 in there then? I'm so
Okay.
confused.
So, my
Oh.
dear,
Now I get it.
Minus
No,
it.
never mind.
this was the original. We rewrote it.
Never mind.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
We also need to check the absolute value of negative 3 minus 12 minus 1 equals 14. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think we'd be good because this would give us 15 minus 1,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
15 minus 1. Okay. So this would be good. Now, for my number line, I think I'm going to count by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 26.
Very good.
Who used to do that?
Why are there 4 numbers? I got negative 3 and 27.
Yeah, that's.
I was just counting. Like I could make. Now, all of this, but I only have 2 dots. Hillary, I just labeled my number line. And then I plotted my points. Yes? Okay. All right. You and your elbow partner, work on this one. Just do it. You need to get away from Allison? I'm sorry.
Oh, don't look me ahead.
Yeah.
What? It's not that hard.
Don't worry about it. I got 4.
Okay, did you first rewrite this to be the absolute value of x minus 2 equals 2?
Yes.
You did not? Okay, make sure that you subtract that 3 over first. Hey, I think that I'm talking. Yep. Gentlemen. Okay, so your two equations are x minus 2 equals 2 and x minus 2 equals negative 2. Okay, make sure that absolute value gets isolated by itself before you rewrite your two equations. So now we have x equals 4 and x equals 0. I add 2. You would get 4 and 0. Okay, does it check out? Okay, if we check the absolute value of 4 minus 2 plus 3, does that equal 5? The absolute value of 0 minus 2 plus 3, does that equal 5? Okay. You've been waiting all class period. Why do we have to check them? All right. So we get it right. Fair enough. All right. So let's look at this one. Are we ready to write our two equations? No. We need to say that the absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals negative 1. Okay, so now, all right, have we isolated the absolute value? Yeah, the absolute value is by itself because everything, the 2x minus 1 is all inside. Okay, so we can write 2x minus 1 equals negative 1 and 2x minus 1 equals a positive 1. So let's solve this one. We would have to add 1, right? 2x equals 0. So what does x equal?
0.
Okay. Over here, if we add 1, 2x equals 2. So what does x equal? Do you not like that, Hillary? Let's check it. The absolute value of 2 times 0 minus 1 plus 3. What does that equal?
2.
It would equal 4.
Oh, so that's not for those thingies.
Yeah.
Wait, so 2 times 0
Is 0.
Yes.
Minus 1 is negative 1. The absolute value of negative 1 is 1. Plus 3 does not equal 2.
It's an
Boy, can you-
solution.
Now, let's try 1. If I take 2 times 1 minus 1 inside of my absolute value, what do we get?
Three.
No, I thought you would get, you still would get 2. You would get 2, because 2 times, 2 times. Oh, no, I forgot about the absolute value.
Why is this happening? Okay, I knew that before we even set it up. Nope, no why.
It's because it's a 2. It's extra.
You guys, what's true about an absolute value is always gonna give you.
Oh,
Oh.
what? Now it's snapping.
We can't have an absolute value equal a -1. No. No solution. No solution.
What do they write that?
Okay, your homework will be from the book. I'll post